Hi, I'm Anya. I moved to Leicester about a year ago and I came to St John's around the same time. I have 3 little boys and my husband Luke is the chaplain at the university. I've been asked today to talk a bit about Psalm 31 and I wanted to offer you the chance first to pause this video, to get the psalm open in front of you and to read it in your own time, as many times as you'd like, and really try and absorb the words of this deep psalm. I can really resonate with this psalm this week, not just in my own feelings, but in seeing the pain and the deep hurt of so many people around the world for lots of different reasons. With the events around George Floyd, countless numbers are crying out from hundreds of years of grief. Verse 9 captures some of this, I think. My eye is wasted from grief, my soul and my body also. And in this pandemic, it can feel like we're on unsteady ground, living in fear and not able to go about our normal lives. It has brought to light countless injustices. We can almost hear their cry through this psalm in verse 15. Rescue me from the hands of my enemies and from my persecutors. There is a deep anguish in this psalm, but here's what I like about it. This psalm makes peace with the paradox present that we so often wrestle with in our own lives. The psalmist is able to hold the deep emotions of pain and suffering and the profound truths of God's love, his rest and his justice side by side. There is no neat explanation for this. They just coexist. Often, I can feel more like a pendulum swing going back and forth between struggle and realising God's goodness all over again. This psalm doesn't swing between the two. Powerfully, it holds them both side by side together and accepts them both. I don't know if you're like me, but it's so easy to become overwhelmed at the moment. Watching the news can make your head spin and it can feel impossible to know where God is. This is where I find comfort in this psalm. When I try to hide from my emotions and switch them off, this psalm says it's okay to feel how you feel. It's okay to confront the pain and let it out. There is a realness here. I think sometimes as Christians we can swing to the extreme of being overly positive a lot of the time. We can have this mentality of staying strong and focusing on the good, of soldiering on. And it is good to be positive. But here we can see that being real about struggle and depth can go hand in hand. It's part of connecting to being human, and it can move us from cliché Christianity to real depth. We were made to feel, and it is a place where we can meet God. And when there is deep injustice and pain in the world around us, it isn't always an option to offer a neat Christian explanation or to switch off. Sometimes there is suffering so raw that we can't offer an answer to it. But on the other extreme, I think, sometimes we can go so far down into our feelings that we can't see truth anymore. It's so easy to feel that because we are struggling, God isn't in that place. It's easy to think that suffering and God's goodness can't go hand in hand. And in a way they can't. It is a paradox. But this psalm holds this paradox together. On the surface, everything can be shaking, everything can be going wrong, but there is a deeper truth, a deeper reality that is present at the same time. That God is good, that God is our rock and our fortress, verse 2, that he has set our feet on a broad place, verse 8, that God will save us in his steadfast love, verse 16, that God's goodness is abundant, verse 19, that God repays the one who acts in pride, verse 23. This reminds me of, it makes me think of a picture of the sea with a storm raging on top, but when you go down there is a profound stillness. When everything is shaking, we can still have a deeper security. A security that means that it's okay to confront our emotions. A security that means it's okay not to have all the answers. I hope that whatever your circumstance, you can feel God's steadfast love today. I want to end with the last line of the psalm. Be strong and let your heart take courage, all you who wait for the Lord.